There are survival food lists everywhere online, but the best ones? Preppers never post them. Because the moment everyone knows what you're stockpiling, it's already gone when it matters most. What you're about to hear is the list they keep off the forums, off the subreddits, and out of the YouTube comment sections. 10 foods that serious preppers guard like classified intel. Stay until the very end of this video, because the last item on this list isn't what you think it is. It's not exotic. It's not expensive. You can probably find it within 5 miles of where you're sitting right now. But almost nobody stores it correctly. And in a real survival situation, that one mistake could cost you everything. We're starting the countdown now. Food 1. Raw honey. Archaeologists cracked open a sealed Egyptian tomb and found something nobody expected. Honey, still inside the jars, still perfectly preserved, after 3,000 years. Let that sink in for a moment. While civilizations rose and fell, while empires crumbled, while the entire ancient world rewrote itself, a jar of honey sat quietly in the dark and waited. Raw honey. Not the processed, filtered, bear-shaped bottle from the grocery store shelf, but real, unfiltered, unpasteurized raw honey is one of the only foods on Earth with a genuinely infinite shelf life when stored correctly. Airtight container, cool, dark environment, zero moisture exposure. That's the entire storage protocol. But here's where it gets interesting. Here's why preppers don't post about this one openly. Raw honey isn't just calories. It's a full medical asset. The natural hydrogen peroxide content, the low water activity, the acidic pH, all of it creates an environment where bacteria simply cannot survive. Serious preppers use raw honey to treat minor wounds when antiseptics run low. Field dressings with honey applied directly to lacerations have documented antibacterial effectiveness going back centuries. Military field. Medicine in multiple conflicts used honey before modern pharmaceuticals were available. It suppresses coughs. It soothes burns. It provides fast-release energy when the body is under extreme physical or psychological stress. In the caloric density, a single pound of raw honey delivers approximately 1,300 calories. It's food. It's medicine. It's a morale booster when everything around you has gone dark. The preppers who've built serious long-term stockpiles don't advertise their honey supply for one simple reason. The moment people know you have it, it becomes the most negotiable asset in any crisis. And negotiation, when you're already in survival mode, is a vulnerability you cannot afford. They store it deep, they label the containers generically, and they say absolutely nothing. Food 2. Hardtack. Union soldiers called it sheet iron crackers. Confederate soldiers called it something far less polite. Both sides ate it for years across one of the most brutal military conflicts in American history, marching through mud, sleeping in trenches, surviving conditions that broke men physically and mentally. Hardtack kept them upright. The recipe is almost insultingly simple. Flour, water, salt. Mix it. Roll it flat. Punch holes through it to prevent air pockets. Bake it until every single molecule of moisture has been driven out of it completely. The result is a dense, pale, brick-hard cracker that has no business surviving as long as it does. And yet, properly made hardtack, stored in an airtight container away from humidity and light, can last years without any degradation in nutritional value. Some documented examples from Civil War reenactors and historical preservation projects have been tested after decades of storage and found still technically edible. Not enjoyable, but edible. And that distinction matters more than most people realize. Here's the pattern break that most survival content never covers. Hardtack isn't just a food, it's a skill. The ability to make a shelf-stable, calorie-dense bread substitute from 3 ingredients that are themselves already long-term shelf-stable: flour, salt, and nothing else requiring refrigeration, means you're not just storing food. You're storing the capacity to produce food. That's a fundamentally different level of preparedness. Preppers who bake hardtack in batches, seal it in Mylar bags, and store it in rotation aren't being dramatic. They're being precise. They're building a food system that works even when the supply chain is gone, the grocery stores are empty, and the people who laughed at them 3 months earlier are knocking on doors. Dense, bland, unimpressive to look at, absolutely essential to understand. Food 3. Rendered animal fat, tallow, and lard. This is the one that gets preppers laughed off the internet. Fat, animal fat, stored in jars, ready for a crisis. And the people doing the laughing? They've never heard of rabbit starvation. So let's fix that right now. Because this is one of the most important and most overlooked survival nutrition concepts in existence. In the mid-20th century, explorers and researchers documented something terrifying happening to people who were eating enough calories but still wasting away. Fatigue, muscle loss, cognitive decline, organ stress. The common thread? They were eating almost exclusively lean protein with almost no dietary fat. Your body cannot absorb vitamins A, D, E, or K without fat. These are fat-soluble vitamins, and without adequate fat in the diet, your body processes them and loses them entirely. Deficiency in vitamin D alone triggers bone weakness, immune suppression, and depression. Vitamin A deficiency causes night blindness, a catastrophic problem in a survival scenario with no artificial lighting. Vitamin K deficiency impairs blood clotting. The absence of fat doesn't just make you hungry, it makes you functionally fall apart. Rendered tallow, beef fat, slowly, cooked down and clarified, and rendered lard from pork fat both store for 12 to 24 months at room temperature in properly sealed containers, and significantly longer when kept cool. They add critical calories. 1 tablespoon of tallow delivers over 120 calories, and they turn a dry, difficult survival meal into something the body can actually process completely. Here's what no one posts online. Preppers who understand the rabbit starvation problem stockpile rendered fat first, before the freeze-dried meals, before the rice and beans, because you can eat your entire caloric requirement and still starve nutritionally if fat is absent. They render it themselves. They seal it in dark glass jars. They store it at the back of the coolest space they have. And they never mention it, because explaining why fat is their first priority takes exactly this long. And most people stop listening before they reach the point of understanding. Food 4. Whole. Dried corn, not cornmeal. Here's where most preppers make the single most expensive mistake in their entire food storage system. They buy cornmeal, 50 pounds of it, vacuum sealed, feeling prepared, and in 2 to 3 years, when they rotate their stock and open those containers, the smell hits them first, slightly off, faintly rancid. The oils in the cornmeal's germ fraction have oxidized, and what they have is technically still food in the loosest biological sense. But practically speaking, it's compromised. Cornmeal is a processed, ground product. The grinding exposes oils to oxygen at a surface area exponentially greater than the intact kernel. Even with oxygen absorbers, even in mylar, the oxidation timeline on cornmeal is frustratingly short. Whole dried corn. The hard, intact kernel, sometimes called dent corn or field corn, is something completely different. The kernel structure protects those internal oils. Sealed in mylar bags with proper oxygen absorbers, whole dried corn reliably stores for 25 to 30 years without significant nutritional degradation. It doesn't go rancid. It doesn't develop off flavors. It sits in cold storage and waits. And here's the operational beauty of this choice. You grind it when you need it, not before. Every batch of cornmeal you produce from whole kernel corn is fresh ground, full flavor, fully nutritious. You control the grind size. Coarse for polenta, medium for cornbread, fine for tortillas. A hand-cranked grain mill. Itself one of the most important pieces of non-electric survival equipment available, turns whole corn into fresh cornmeal in minutes. The difference in shelf life between ground and whole is the difference between a 2-year supply and a 30-year supply. That's not a minor optimization. That's a complete rethinking of the entire storage strategy. The preppers who know this don't post about it online, because acknowledging it means acknowledging that almost everyone who thinks they have a serious corn supply actually has a ticking clock instead. Food. 5. Canned ghee. Butter is the first thing that disappears in any prolonged power outage. Everyone knows this, and most preppers either accept it and move on, or they stockpile powdered butter that never quite convinces anyone it's the real thing. But there's a third option that the prepping community keeps unusually quiet about: ghee. Ghee is clarified butter. Butter that has been slowly heated until the water evaporates completely and the milk solids separate and are removed. What remains is pure, golden, shelf-stable butterfat. Commercially canned and sealed, high-quality ghee lasts 2 to 5 years at room temperature. in an unopened container. In a cool, dark storage environment, many experienced preppers push that timeline significantly further and report no degradation in quality or flavor. It has one of the highest smoke points of any cooking fat, around 480 degrees Fahrenheit, which makes it exceptional for high heat cooking over open flame, wood fire, or propane stoves when electricity is unavailable. A tablespoon of ghee transforms a bowl of plain white rice from something you're forcing yourself to eat into something that genuinely tastes like food. It elevates beans. It makes flatbread feel like a meal. It adds richness to soups and stews made from dry-stored ingredients that would otherwise taste exactly like what they are: survival rations. And that point matters more than almost any nutritional metric. In long-term crisis scenarios, studied by emergency management researchers, food fatigue is documented as a serious psychological threat. Groups eating monotonous, flavorless survival food show elevated stress, decreased morale, reduced cooperation, and higher rates of conflict within weeks. The psychological dimension of eating, pleasure, comfort, normalcy, directly affects cognitive function and group cohesion. Ghee is a morale weapon. It makes the rest of the food supply work harder. Preppers who've thought past the first month don't just stock calories. They stock the tools that make calories bearable, and they keep those tools very, very quiet. Food 6. Dried whole egg powder. Nobody talks about this one, and the reason is almost embarrassing. Dried whole egg powder, but not just egg whites, but full whole eggs, stores for up to 10 years when sealed properly. It reconstitutes into scrambled eggs, bakes into bread, thickens sauces, and provides complete protein with full amino acid profiles. The shock isn't that it exists. It's that almost no mainstream prepper content covers it in depth, because most people hear powdered eggs and think of the rubbery cafeteria nightmare from institutional cooking. Real dried whole egg powder from quality suppliers reconstitutes convincingly. And complete protein is one of the hardest nutritional categories to maintain in a long-term survival food supply without refrigeration. Serious preppers have cases of this in deep storage, and they're very quiet about it. Food 7. Wax-sealed fermented foods. Here's the thing about survival nutrition that almost nobody discusses. Calories keep you alive, but gut health keeps you functional. In a survival scenario with limited food diversity, digestive problems, constipation, diarrhea, nutrient malabsorption become serious threats faster than most people expect. Your gut microbiome starts suffering within weeks of eating a narrow, processed food-heavy survival diet. Traditional fermented foods, kimchi, sauerkraut, fermented pickles, stored in wax-sealed ceramic crocks using old-world preservation methods, can last months in a cool environment without any refrigeration. They provide probiotics, vitamins, and flavor variety that make the rest of your food supply more effective. And the skill of fermenting? It's renewable. You can keep producing it indefinitely with just salt, water, and whatevers. Vegetables you can access. Preppers who know fermentation don't just store food, they store a system for making food. That's a completely different level of preparedness. Food 8. High-dose vitamin C storage. This entry isn't a food in the traditional sense, but it might be the single most important nutritional decision you make for a serious long-term food storage system. And the reason it belongs on this list is because almost no one is talking about it with the urgency it deserves. Scurvy killed more sailors during the age of exploration than combat, storms, navigation errors, and shipwrecks combined. It starts quietly. Fatigue that feels like exhaustion from hard work, joint aches that feel like overexertion, irritability that feels like stress, easy to dismiss, easy to attribute to circumstances. Then the gums start bleeding. Then old healed wounds reopen because vitamin C is essential for collagen synthesis, and without it, your body cannot maintain connective tissue. Then, organ function begins to fail. The entire progression, from first symptoms to life-threatening deterioration, can happen in 4 to 6 weeks of complete vitamin C deprivation. Now look at a standard survival food supply. Rice, wheat, dried beans, canned meat, freeze-dried meals. Vitamin C content across all of those categories. Effectively zero in most storage forms. Heat, oxygen exposure, and long storage times destroy vitamin C content rapidly. A standard prepping stockpile, built around caloric density and macronutrients, can be completely, catastrophically deficient in vitamin C without the owner ever realizing it. Until the symptoms start. Ascorbic acid powder, pure vitamin C tophus, stores for years in sealed, cool, dark conditions and costs almost nothing per dose. Serious preppers store it in quantity that most people would consider excessive. They don't discuss the quantities they hold because the implication of their calculation that they're planning for scenarios lasting many months or years makes casual observers deeply uncomfortable. This is the gap between planning for a 2-week emergency and planning for something genuinely long-term. And the people who've made that cognitive leap store their vitamin C quietly and keep the conversation offline. Food 9. High-quality rolled oats in Mylar. This one sounds boring. That's exactly why it's on this list. Old-fashioned rolled oats. Not instant, not flavored, not quick cook. Sealed in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers. Store for 20 to 30 years. They're calorie-dense, require minimal water and fuel to prepare, provide soluble fiber that keeps your digestive system functioning under stress, and are one of the most versatile base ingredients in any cooking system. But here's what nobody tells you. The preparation and sealing method matters enormously. Oats sealed improperly, with residual moisture or without oxygen absorbers, go bad in 2 to 3 years. Most people who store oats store them wrong. They think they have a 30-year supply. They have a 3-year supply that's gradually becoming livestock feed. Preppers who know the difference seal their oats correctly and say nothing, because the gap between their preparedness and everyone else's is right there in that one detail. Food 10. Sprouting seeds. Emotion, disbelief, then deep awe. A single pound of dry lentils sealed in a jar with a mesh lid and a tablespoon of water. That's it. Sprouting seeds, lentils, mung beans, radish seeds, alfalfa can be grown anywhere. No soil, no sunlight, no electricity. A jar, some water, and 3 days. And what you get back is something no freeze-dried meal pouch can give you. Living food. Fresh sprouts provide vitamin C, B vitamins, enzymes, and nutrients that are completely absent from a standard long-term storage food supply. They add texture. They add freshness. They break the psychological monotony of eating preserved food for weeks on end. 1 pound of sprouting-grade lentils costs almost nothing. It stores for years. It generates fresh produce continuously with zero infrastructure. This is the food that serious preppers guard most closely. Not because it's rare, but because the practice of sprouting reveals something about how they think. They're not just storing for the first week of a crisis. They're building a system that works on week 12. Week 24. Indefinitely. That's the difference between a prepper and a survivor. 10 foods. 10 layers of the conversation that doesn't happen in public. But step back from the individual items for a moment, because there's a pattern across this entire list that matters more than any single entry. Every item here represents a form of thinking that goes past the obvious, past the first search result, past the mainstream prepper channel, past the surface-level advice that everyone already has access to. Raw honey isn't just sweetener. It's a medical asset. Hardtack isn't just old-fashioned crackers. It's a production skill. Rendered fat isn't outdated. It's the nutritional foundation that makes everything else work. Whole corn isn't the same as cornmeal. Ghee isn't just butter substitute. Egg powder isn't the cafeteria trauma you remember. Fermented foods aren't a trend, they're a renewable system. Vitamin C isn't optional. Oats aren't foolproof. And sprouting seeds aren't a novelty. They're a philosophy. The preppers who stay quiet about these foods aren't being secretive for the sake of drama. They're protecting the result of years of research, mistakes, rotations, and hard thinking. The kind that only happens when you take the question seriously enough to go past the comfortable, shareable, surface-level answers. Now you have the list. What you do with it is the only part that matters. If this changed how you think about your own preparedness, even by one item, even by one question it made you ask, then this video served its purpose. Hit that like button. It takes 1 second and it helps this channel reach the people who need this information most. Subscribe, and you'll be first when we go even deeper. Stay ready, stay ahead.